In a world where silence isn't golden, it's deadly, there lived a girl who had forgotten the sound of laughter. The city of Veridia had long since drowned in gray. Concrete towers reached toward the sky like skeletal fingers. In the sun was a stranger. The air smelled of rust and burnt wires, and the streets were empty, except for shadows that whispered secrets to themselves. No one spoke freely here. Words were expensive, punishable. Even the walls seemed to watch, listening for the wrong phrase, the forbidden question. And so, people hid their hearts beneath layers of gray coats and measured glances. But there was one girl, Lira. Her hair was the color of embers, a spark in the endless gray. And although she had learned to whisper only when necessary, inside she screamed for a world she had never known. On the night the city's alarm bells rang, a shrill cry that split the darkness, Lira slipped through the shadows. Her destination? The archive. The place the elders claimed was empty, but the rumors told of voices kept alive, hidden away, waiting to be heard. Every step was a gamble, every breath a secret. And as she approached the archive, she could feel the weight of the city pressing against her chest. Yet she moved forward. Something inside her insisted the truth must be found. Inside the archive, Lira discovered something that made her knees tremble. Rows upon rows of glass cases, glowing softly in the darkness. And inside each case, voices. Voices frozen in time, singing songs, laughing, whispering love and rage and fear. She pressed her hands to the glass, and for the first time in her life she felt alive. These voices, these echoes of humanity, reminded her of a world that once was. And in that moment, Lira realized she was not alone. She moved from case to case, listening. Each voice carried a story, a fragment of life long forgotten. And in their whispers, Lira felt a strange warmth, a fragile courage growing inside her. Perhaps, she thought, these voices could teach the city to breathe again. But the archive was not meant to be found. The elders had sent their seekers, shadows in long coats, faces hidden beneath masks, and eyes like cold steel. Lira had mere moments. She had to choose, flee with the voices she had found, or stay and risk everything to awaken the city. Lira made her choice. She lifted her voice, soft at first, trembling, but then louder, stronger. And the voices in the archive answered, a chorus of rebellion, of memory, of forgotten hope. The seekers recoiled, unprepared for the power of sound, and for the first time, the city heard itself. Veridia shook, windows rattled, shadows fled, and Lira, standing amidst the awakened voices, felt a fire inside her chest. The city had forgotten its humanity, but maybe, just maybe, humanity could remember itself. That night, the gray towers were no longer silent, the streets no longer empty. Somewhere, in the midst of rust and decay, laughter began to bloom again, small, fragile, and brilliant. And Lira? She kept walking, listening, carrying the voices like a lantern through the darkness. Because even in a city built on silence, a single voice, courageous, defiant, could remind the world that hope is never truly lost.